So you know what's a silly thing to do is to fight the internet. Just log on to you don't even log on to the internet anymore. You just open up something that is always connected to it. You can tell someone who was like the end of the Generation X generation, beginning of the millennial generation, when we say log on to the internet, because back in the day you actually had to establish a connection with the internet. And so that's what logging on to the internet means. That you don't log on anymore. You just, here we are. Hi, internet, let's fight. And fighting the internet is just so dumb. Don't fight the internet. But there's been something that's shown up, in the form of memes. Morning. Say good morning, everybody. Anyway, all right, cool. Nice haircut. See, not everybody's suffering the great haircut shortage of 2020. But anyway, there's one particular meme that has just been ubiquitous that I feel like needs to be addressed a little bit more. It's this, it's from all my single buddies and my kidless buddies. Nice. It's all my humans who are going through this quarantine thing like bored. And the rest of us are like, what's that like? And there's just been this snarky meme that's been up there that says, hey, where are all my friends with kids at? I haven't heard you guys talk about their my life in a long time. Or even saw one last night that said, where are all my married people at? I haven't seen y'all say, he's my world in a long time. And like, okay, I get it. Sarcastic memes are sarcastic and funny, and they're not, don't read into it too hard. You come outside? All right. You gonna jump on a trampoline too? Well, in answer to your question, this is where we're at. This is where the people who have kids are right now with our kids. And it's awesome. Just, by the way, it's pretty incredible. One of the reasons, though, that you don't see a lot of people posting up the cheery, happy, rainbowy, sunshine is great and awesome posts on social media right now is that there are relationships that are deepening to the point that they've never been deep before, to a depth they've never even imagined. There are relationships that are going places because of this strain that is necessary. It's necessary. There are friendships that are strained, marriages that are strained, and relationships with our kids that are going, wow, I don't even know these little people. It happens a lot, by the way. Hello. Say hello. I referenced it a couple weeks ago, and I'll reference it again. There's a Spanish language poet named Pablo Neruda, and Pablo Neruda wrote some pretty good stuff. His most famous one's been quoted in two movies. One of them was Patch Adams. Can't remember what the other one was, but it was his sonnet. Can't remember which number it is, but it's I do not love you as the salt rose or the topaz. But he talks, says, I love you as certain dark things are to be loved between the shadow and the soul. He talks about an intimacy and a closeness that is so tight-knit that the poem ends saying so close that your hand upon my chest is my hand so close that when your eyes close, I fall asleep. It's an intimacy between people when they experience something close that just doesn't fit onto a social media post. There's growth happening within us, all of us right now, that is part of the faithful work of God. When the Bible says, he who began a work in you will be faithful to conclude it. Hey, do that together. Huh? Play together. Don't play separate. When the Bible says, he who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. Some of that work is work that you don't talk about while it's happening because it hurts. A lot of the work that we do is unflattering as we do it. It's difficult to comprehend how hard it is to grow in certain things, and we don't like telling people that we're growing because it's. I think we're embarrassed. But God isn't embarrassed by the work that He does in us. He isn't embarrassed by His craftsmanship. He isn't embarrassed to chisel and sand, to grind at the parts of us that need refinement and fine tuning. Because He's making a masterwork out of you.
Daddy.
About 3 Novembers ago, I found out that I married a very good person. And I found out that I married a very good person for a couple of really good reasons. I thought you wanted to go inside. You want to go inside? No, okay. All right. We ran into one of the biggest challenges in our entire lives. And all we had, at the end of the day, we lost a large group of friends and discovered a whole another group of friends. It was incredible, but it drew us close together in a way that we had never been close before. We discovered a strength in our togetherness that was necessary and life-saving. So for everybody, if you're not posting up how cheery and glorious and wonderful stuff is in your life, it's okay. Because there's work happening somewhere between the shadow and the soul. Somewhere in a deep place about you that wouldn't honor the work that's going on if you talked about it right now. Later, when you have gained this wisdom, this strength, and this extraordinary courage, do talk about it, because there will be people who need your guidance and your counsel to know how to get there. But you can do this. It's hard, but we're going to come out the other side of it better and stronger and more ready. And there are going to be some of us who come out the other side of it who really, really need to talk some stuff over. Let's do that too. But let's keep this work going. Because, hey, quarantine may end tomorrow. But the work that is being done on us is a lifetime of work. And let's do this work together. A word from Judah's eyebrows. Give him the eyebrows. Right here. Give him the eyebrows. That's right. That's right. Uh-huh. Yeah. What's that face? Oh. Is that broccoli face?
Broccoli face.
Broccoli face. All right. Can you show me surprise face?
Surprise face.
Can you show me surprise face?
And
Judah, can you show me silly face?
say face.
How about cheesy face?
Kisses.
Now show me dinosaur face. No, big dinosaur face.